Hello, friends. As I just said in the text, we might have a rocky start. So if my lips are moving and you can't hear me, let me know. As always, we need a little bit of a tech check-in before I really launch into anything. Just here. Fingers crossed. Don't want to do dead air, but I also don't want to talk too much if no one can hear me. Kind of defeats the whole purpose. Hello. Does that mean you can hear me? Okay, good. Alright. I turned my headphones on and immediately the program opened and it's like, updating, this won't take long. And I was like, hello, DW, Chris, Marc-Andre, Pei, it is awesome to see you all. As you can see, if you were here, when did I do this last? 2 weeks ago. If you were here 2 weeks ago, I was playing around with a green screen background. Not doing it anymore. It was just too much. The way my camera works, I had to have like the green screen spanned like across my entire room, and it was a mess. So maybe someday in the future I will play around with that again, but for now it's not happening. It's not happening. And I think this looks good. I've had some people say that the screen is not quite big enough, but like I want room for my little text and everything, so this is good. I'm happy. Hopefully you are happy. And hopefully everyone is having a good start to their weekend. I am surprisingly awake and lucid. Usually when I come to these things, I am out of it and over caffeinated and weird, but like I actually slept the right amount last night, and I only had a little bit of caffeine coming into this, but I mean, as we go, I've got this here, so things could change. Let's see, check in about this week. This week has been a lot. It's been good. With my projects, it's been interesting. Oof, and I'm getting a lot going on with my whole cat boarding business, which is also good, but hectic. Yesterday, I put out a new video on YouTube here, so if you haven't checked it out yet, please go do so after the sprints. I did a day in the life of Charles Dickens, sort of. Since I have so much on my plate, I was multitasking a bunch, and I didn't do it precisely, but his days are a bit much for me. A bit much. Like a lot of activity and a lot of socializing and a lot of eating. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the setup. My room is every day is Halloween here. I also, speaking of Gothic, I just released a new video on the Haunted Montreal channel. If you're not aware, I'm working with a local organization, Haunted Montreal, and I host spooky storytime videos for them, along with Marc-Andre, who's in the chat. So he puts out one in French, I put one out in English, and they're a good time. Yes, my cat herding business. That's exactly it. So I'm always getting new notifications. We're getting like booked up all through the summer, which is great because I want cats around at all times. So since we are coming up on 105, I think I actually remembered to reset the sprint timer this time, which that's a first. It's a first. Usually I have to stop and mess around with it, but I think it's ready to go for 15 minutes. Oh, I'm glad you liked the Charles Dickens video. Yeah, I just, I wish that he did more creating into the night, because the way I function, or don't function, is a lot of like on and off random non-scheduling, which is funny because I'm also a largely scheduled person. I don't know, it works. It works for me. So if this is your first time here, the way we do this is we do 15-minute sprints. The schedule is right here. And on the final sprint, we do a half-hour sprint, and I'll put up some... Oh, it's a little... Okay. As you can tell, I use a YouTube video for my background image. Anyhow, oh, and I need to turn off my notifications. Okay, so the hecticness is beginning. All right. 15 minutes, final one is half hour. And when we get to the half-hour sprint, I put up what I call magic words. They are sometimes obscure words that not everyone has necessarily heard of. And the idea is you can use them to get inspired to do a little one-off piece of writing, or you can try and incorporate them into the larger piece that you are working on them, or you can just enjoy them or ignore them. It's entirely up to you. So we are going to get into our first sprint of the day. I guess I'll tell you what I'm working on. I'm continuing some level writing for Explory Story, which is the awesome game that I'm working on with Blue Pin Studio. So I'm going to try and get one of those levels done, and I'm going to try and get 2 scripts for Haunted Montreal done. And that's it. If you want to tell me what you're working on, that would be awesome. And until then, I'm just going to start our sprint, and we'll check in after 15 minutes. Let's go.
What is this place? What is this place? What is this place? What is this place? What is this place?
All right, let's bring that beat back.
Time's up. That first one always goes so quickly. I got 83 words, but I was responding to some messages on Pawshake. It's fine. With my other writing on this game, I've been drawing inspiration from some writings that a previous writer did on our team, and the point that I'm at now, I've gotten to a point where we don't have any of those notes, and it's just like purely my ideas, and I am not like the most amazing person at short stories, and that's something I'm trying to change this year. This is actually one of my my goals for the year. And the way these levels work is there's an act and there's 3 levels in each one, so you have to complete some sort of story. Like, you need to give it a little bit of a conclusion, right? Because each one leads up to a boss battle. So it's 3 levels leading up to a boss battle, and then sort of like a conclusion. And so it's been an exercise, because everything that I start thinking of, I overthink it, and I want to put a million things there, and it's like, no, keep it simple, but keep it good, and like have that beginning, middle, end. It's tough, but it's been fun. It's been a really good exercise so far, so I enjoy it. 300, nice. Hopefully I can get to that point today. I think I'm probably gonna wind up bouncing back and forth a bit between this like super creative level of writing and my scripting, because the scripting's a bit easier, so I don't want to get locked in to a creative block and not have time to do the scripting I need to do, so try to be clever about my productivity today. How did everyone else do? Also, I'm glad to hear that you are translating ghost stories, Marc-Andre. I should have 2 more for you ready, so that we'll actually, we'll be prepared ahead of time for our filming days. Oh, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who finds short stories hard. Yeah, getting people hooked and giving them a satisfying story in so few words is really difficult. Yeah, I really admire people who can just fire off short stories. It's an art, for sure. 8 words, nice. But usually you're making coffee right now, so I would consider 8 words a huge win. Okay. We're actually on schedule today. I feel like something's got to go ridiculously wrong, because this is going way too well. I think it's probably because I went back to my old setup, and last week was just a bad idea. A very bad idea. Alright, is my timer going to restart? Is it going to listen to me or no? Okay, here we go. I asked for it, didn't I? I asked for a problem, and here it is. Just reset our timer here so we can get into another sprint. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is amazing. This is amazing. I asked for it. You ask and ye shall receive. Alright, well, this is fun. So when I used to do these, before I had a timer, I would time on my phone and let people know when our time was up. Oh, there we go. It finally reset. Yay. I'm surprised that short stories are more difficult for you, Pei, because you are so good at writing them. Chris still waking up. Waiting for remote control writing pen. Remote control writing pen? What? I've not heard of this. I've not heard of this. You'll have to tell me what a remote control writing pen is. Okay, but since I've reset this properly, I'm going to get into our sprint. I feel like I say this every time. I always ask people, like, how much talking in between sprints they prefer. Like, is this reasonable? Does it set you off course with your creativity at all because it's too long, or is it not enough? I'm always curious about that, and no one has answered me ever. So let me know, because I think this works well, but I always like feedback, especially because, I mean, it's a public video that I am doing partially for the people who attend, so I want to know that everyone is happy and enjoying their time. You like writing short stories, but that doesn't mean you find them easy. Sometimes the difficult writing is like it's the most enjoyable thing. Like with the game and everything that I'm working on, it's something I haven't done before. So I enjoy tackling it every day, but it is kind of like harrowing because I don't know if I'm going to get it right or not. I think I'm getting it right so far. I think so. Okay, let me get into our next sprint here. Another 15-minute, our second sprint. Let's go. perfect timing with that music there. Second sprint is up. 2 down, 3 to go. I don't really have an actual word count because when I'm working on these scripts, I am working off of the blogs written by Donovan King, who heads Haunted Montreal. So I got through about, well, I did one script. So Marc-Andre, there's another one in there for you. It's about 1,500 words, that one, but that's not all my typing. It's just moving around and editing and making it sound like a script. Hope everyone else did well this time around. I'm partially into my to-do list, which is good, because I have dinner to go to tonight, and I don't want to stress about all the writing I have to do. Because that's the worst. Oh, I just got a new subscriber. Welcome, Esme. Thank you. If you're here, I appreciate it. I think, does that... I've been waiting to get to 450, just because I like rounded off numbers like that. Yeah, that's 450. Yay. Mini celebration. Darn it. Is that about the script? Too fast getting another one in there? This one's pretty easy and enjoyable. I like this one. It's about an abandoned tunnel that's being haunted. I kind of want to go there now. How did everyone else do? What's my next one? I try not to give too many spoilers about anything that I'm working on, but these Haunted Montreal stories are so... I always want to talk about them. They're so fun. 64 words of a rant. All right, excellent. Don't know how many for the sprint, but 1K for the day. Also great. These sprints are so useful. It's funny because before I started doing them, like before I started doing NaNoWriMo, I was so like antisocial about my writing, and I still am, but I've also come to see the benefits of this sort of thing, because I was like, how could it possibly work if you're socializing in between writing? I need to like sit and bore a hole into the paper or my laptop with my eyes and like not turn away from it and not acknowledge the outside world ever. But it's like introverts working with introverts, and that's always a good thing. Now let's see if my timer wants to behave this time. It does! That's so nice. So nice. Oh, I also got... I got a belated Christmas? Yeah, belated Christmas present from my dad the other day. And very appropriately... EMF meter. So I am well set to get started on my paranormal investigating at some point. Outside what? Yeah, I don't know. I hear it's out there. I usually keep the curtains for my window shut, so I don't really know what that is. Hey Dharma, how's it going? Definitely yay for introverts. What was that? There was some saying that like used to be on t-shirts and stuff. Something like, introverts unite together alone. It's kind of the feeling here, I think. Although I've had a couple extrovert friends join in at sprints on Discord, and they do well. They just talk a little bit more than I'm used to. Speaking of Discord, if you're not on there, you should join. It's a nice community. There's a lot of very quiet people right now, but I think we're getting a few new members, and it's you know, it's trickling in, it's growing. But everyone who's on there is very cool, and creative and nice. And we sprint usually twice a week. Last week, I missed one, but it was fine. No one else was there, so it was all right. It's not really a failure if everyone fails, right? I think that's how it works. Alright, so we're a little bit late on this third sprint, so I am going to get into it. Another 15 minutes this time, and then one final 15, and then we're going to be doing a half hour. So let's get into our third sprint. Time's up on our third sprint. I got through 2 pages of this script. It's a 5-page one. Some of these are quite long, so they're an adventure to record. I think this is gonna be one of them. It's like a double feature every once in a while, so which is great for viewers. But when Marc-Andre and I are recording them, it's an experience. Also because the way we record is 4 videos at a time, so by the end of it, like, you're ready to stop talking forever. But it's the best way to do it, I think. When you're trying to do weekly stuff. So our conversation here in the chat while we've been writing is all about the search history of writers. It's always interesting. Dharma saying how you have a mug that says, "Pay no attention to my browser history. I'm a writer, not a serial killer." Yeah. Pei, I think you and I have talked about this like multiple times. Marc-Andre once Googled what the range of a mortar was, followed by a map of DC. Oh my god. Yeah, that's good. 100 words done and an Americano. 3rd espresso of the day. Well done. Yeah, I have a feeling that there must be a whole list of people who are like, you know, the powers that be know, okay, here's a list of writers. We know they're writers, but the things they look up, you know, one day they might not just be writers anymore. I'm sure that's a thing. And I am probably on that list. Probably. Also, it doesn't help what my day job is. It really, really doesn't help. Yeah, definitely on a list here. Chris, why does my computer hate me? Is that what your search is? Because I felt like figuring that out myself sometimes, but you know, there's no answer. There's no answer. Technology just hates us, and that's the way it is, and you have to accept it and move along. As always, I'm wishing I could have the cats in here, but they've been kind of on a warpath, and I'm just gonna leave that energy out in the rest of the apartment. I think it's for the best. So hopefully, by the time I get to our half-hour sprint, I will be back to my creative writing and finish these scripts. But I don't know, then I'm gonna panic because I don't know if I have it in me to write it today. Oh well. Once I get into it, once I have an idea, I can do it. I know that. I can do that. But let us get into our fourth sprint. This will be the final 15-minute sprint. So gear up, get ready for the half-hour one coming afterwards. If you want to use this sprint to, take a bathroom break, grab a snack, grab more coffee, that would be a good time just so you can actually sit through the full final sprint, because that one is usually the best for productivity, I find. The FBI watch list is just a bunch of upcoming authors. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Okay, let's do our final 15-minute here. All right. Time's up. Fourth sprint session down, 1 to go. I got into that script because the story is really good. Can't wait to share it with everyone. It's the third one for the month of April though, so a few weeks until we get there. I've got like 1.5 pages left to go, which will definitely be finished on the half-hour sprint. I hope everyone else did well. Let me know how you did. I'm just going to reset our timer so that we're ready to go for half an hour on the next round. Right. Righty. Okay. I was like right in the middle of a sentence, so when that alarm went off, I was like, no, I need to finish writing this. No, I'm trying not to lose it in my head. Marc-Andre doing research. Is it for the haunted stuff or your novel that you're working on? Hey, 200 words this time. That's awesome. You remembered to write. I think I got through like 1,000, but still it was editing-ish, just adding things. There are a lot of quotes in these blogs. And on the first few scripts, I didn't really go through and change that properly, so now I'm changing it properly, so I'm not quoting people because it doesn't come across properly in the video, so I'm just like keeping it in the storytelling style rather than like she said and he said. It's, yeah. Or I mean, I'm using she said, but more like she said the ghost walked towards her, not she said I went upstairs and the ghost walked towards me, that sort of thing. So I think it'll sound a lot better. We've been changing it anyway as we talk, but yeah, this will be a little bit easier, I think. Thing with making videos is it gets easier every time, I think. Not the technology side of it, because that will always mess you up, but like personally, the getting in front of a camera and talking, it starts, you know, you get a bit numb to it. Unless you take a break, then you're screwed. Ghost research. Well, the thing I'm most excited about with this project, I know I'm like dominating this whole conversation with the haunted stuff, but it's one of the latest projects and it's a fun one. So we're releasing each original blog with a chaptered format, so it's like chapter 1, which gives us space to go back and like do investigations and add more onto the stories, and I think that's the part I'm most excited about doing. We got content for days. What time are we at? 2:26. So, I hope that everyone is ready to go for the half-hour sprint, because we're going to launch into it in a moment. So hopefully you've gone to the washroom, grabbed a snack. I know half an hour isn't a ridiculously long time, but if you sit through this whole like 1 to 3 session, it's nice to like take a breather for a sec and then get down to the longest sprint. I don't, but that's because I'm a crazy person. Words of the day. Thank you, Chris. I am about to put those up. Just trying to decide if there's anything else I need to talk about, but I don't think there really is. I'm just babbling a lot. So here are our magic words, and let's hope I can pronounce them all properly. As I said at the beginning of this, I give you some words here, and you can use them if you like. I will also post them in the chat, so that, because I know it's not always easy to read them on like if you're using a phone. So our words are anguilliform, which means resembling an eel; canorous, which means melodious or resonant; gallus, which is actually a Scottish term that means bold or daring. Marc-Andre might know about that. And the final one is nacarat, which is a bright orange-red color, which I was surprised by because I do art and coloring, and I had never heard that word in my life. Learn something new every day. So with that, once the sprint gets started, I'll paste them in the chat, and hopefully you can all use at least one of them, or at least, you know, have learned something new, because that's always fun. So get ready, and we're going to sprint for half an hour. Let's go.
Look, you and me on the Charles River. I could die right now, Glenn. I'm just happier. I've never felt that before.
Okay, is it just me or did that feel like 15 minutes? So half an hour is up. How did everyone do? Let me know. I'm gonna check in on my writing here. I figured out what I was doing with my level. It's very exciting. I'm only about a third of the way through though. And for word count, 225 more, so I mean I can usually do better than that, but I was multitasking and getting distracted and stuff, so I'm feeling okay about it. I'm finally just starting to build a website for my mom, who is usually here. She's not today because she's busy, but she's an editor and she needs a website so she can actually have a portfolio and rates online and stuff like that, so it's not just me advertising via word of mouth. So hey, if you need an editor, there will be a website soon, and I'll probably start shilling it out whenever it's active. Some good ideas. That's always a plus. I like that quote that was coming in on the soundtrack. I don't know if everyone else noticed it. It was from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's funny because I was just talking to my friend Jamie about that movie like last night. We were just talking about it. And then it comes up. Kind of want to watch it again. Dharma, 1200 for the day so far. And got a late start with lots of browser searches. 1200 is really good, especially for the late start. It might have been the fact that you had all of those espressos. That usually does the trick. I've been drinking this weird Starbucks coffee this week. We decided to try it, and it makes me tired. So I'm kind of waiting for that coffee to be done, because coffee should not make you tired. I don't know. Coffee will make me tired, like in that I'll drink it and then I'll want to crash. But this one, like, I drink it and I'm actively becoming tired while I drink it. It's very strange. I think my body just prefers energy drinks, but those are probably a bad idea in the long run. How's everyone else doing? Oh, and did anyone manage to use any of those words? I'm always curious. I didn't. I did open up Photoshop for a second because I have one cover to do for my the stuff I'm preparing for Calgary Fan Expo, and then it started to freeze and I was like, oh no, because I suddenly had like terror fueling me because I just imagined it causing my entire computer to crash and then this shutting down. I was like, nope, we're not doing Photoshop today. No Photoshop today. So that got shut down very quickly. Yeah, I imagine the espressos would help for sure. So we're just past 3. I'm going to wind this down. It's so you drink more. Yeah, I don't know, but like I would have 3 cups of that coffee and I just like tired. It didn't help. So Starbucks, no. But you know what? That makes sense. Starbucks coffee, I feel like they would do something like that to make you keep buying their overpriced coffee. Yeah, that completely makes sense. Never again. Back to the cheap stuff. I like it better. I'm terrible at being a connoisseur of anything. So before I go, I'm just going to throw some links in the chat here, as I usually do, so that you can check them out if you like. One is going to be for the Discord community, so if you're not already a member, you should join. If you are a member and you're not super active, try to be more active, because I'm trying to get more conversation going on there and stuff. And I think we're all kind of quiet right now, so. We're doing sprints on Wednesday. So right now we do Wednesday 7 to 9 and Thursday 5 to 7. So if you want to join in on any of those, Chris Chris, yesterday was sort of interesting. I was reading at McDonald's and there was a group of Hispanic schoolgirls there and a younger brother picking his nose. Alright. I mean, younger brothers like to pick their noses generally. And some older brothers too. I'm also going to share my Patreon in case anyone would like to support me there. I post every Thursday, and if you join now, like I think you'll have access to like 60 posts or something like that, maybe more. There's quite a lot, and the memberships start at like $1.50 or something like that. So yeah, you don't have to put too much into it to support me, and I really appreciate it. But on that note, I'm gonna wind things down. Oh, you're welcome, DW. Thanks for joining again. I will be sprinting again next week on YouTube, 1 to 3 p.m. as usual. If there are any emergencies and I need to cancel, I will always post that in the pinned comment on my video that comes out on Friday. So you can take a look there and I'll say like if it's happening or if it's not, something like that. And yeah, if you don't see me, I'll give my reason on social media or in that pinned comment. Now that we are done here for the day, please go watch my new video if you haven't watched it already. And if you haven't checked out the Haunted Montreal channel and you like spooky stories, please go watch that. If you are a French speaker, Marc-Andre makes videos in French, so you have the choice of English or French, which I think is pretty great. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Oh, one more thing. McDonald's coffee is actually amazing, Chris. Did you know that... So people used to really like Tim Hortons coffee in Canada, and now it's kind of terrible. McDonald's actually got the coffee that Tim's used to use, and now McDonald's coffee is really good. So if you're going for cheap coffees, McDonald's over Tim's, in my opinion. There's my unpopular opinion for the day, but it's only because it was originally Tim's. Okay, got a bunch of editing done. Nice. Can't wait for your new video. Alright, I'm gonna head out because I have to bring fresh figs to my friend. For real. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'm happy I could help with your productivity, and I look forward to seeing you all next week and maybe on Discord before then. I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye.